but what it was, I think, was Mac Wiseman playing. And it must have been, it either was the same song that you all had started to play, because I know we listened to it a lot on the jukebox. There was some tavern that had a lot of Mac's records, and we used to go down there and sit and have beer and listen to the records. And I said, now this is the way it's done. And I'd turn the radio up, and drown them out. And Mike doesn't remember this at all, but that was his introduction, and he lasted through all of it. He lasted through. He didn't give in. He didn't leave, and that was sort of what I remember as me putting you through the test. And then since he passed the test, then I went over and joined them. I figured he had the thick skin, and the, yeah. He keeps saying it. Yeah. Yeah.
A situation where y'all were trying to figure out what was going on. I was also trying to figure out, just learn. I was appreciating meeting you all.
Well, you were ahead of us, I'll tell you. I still hadn't figured it out, but I figured it out later that that's what I was doing too.
I really like the folks too. I know your dad was an old-time type of person, and I liked a lot of that, about him, and I liked being able to go out and play music with you all. And even though I had a nylon string to tie a guitar, everybody looked down on, but it was the only thing that any of us had.
I don't remember that.
It was a nylon string guitar. I sold it within 6 months or a year because Robert didn't like it.
I know Robert wouldn't like it. It wouldn't make enough noise for him.
But I'm sure that they were amused playing bluegrass on a nylon string guitar. And I had an old piece of a mandolin. It was terrible action. And a banjo with no back on it. And I played old drop thumb banjo. I hadn't started playing the Scruggs style hardly at all then. But Arnold could pick good, straight, old-time bluegrass on anything.
He taught himself.
Except the fiddle. He didn't play fiddle. I didn't either at that time. Well, it was a wonderful meeting, and gradually we began going around amongst some of the city people around there. And we met Bob Baker, who was another person who liked more of the country western. I remember when I first met you that you made it real plain that you really liked Kitty Wells. More than bluegrass was the feeling that I got.
That's what I thought I was supposed to sing, is why that happened.
Well, I liked Kitty Wells at the time, but I also liked bluegrass, I think, a little bit better because it had a banjo in it, and more fiddle.
And at that point, I think he liked more like Ernest Tubb and, and that type.
Oh, yeah, he sang nothing but Ernest Tubb songs at that time, Bob Baker. Well, gradually we went around the city things, and we began having those all-night parties. We got kicked out of about
everywhere we did.
About every hillbilly apartment in the region because they didn't want to see us back. We had 1 or 2 fights get started in them. But there'd always be a little bit of beer, and you and I didn't drink, and I always got a hard time for it. Not drinking, that is.
They'd say, well, how can you have so much fun on a Coke?
Well, I was a misfit, and I knew it, and they gave me a hard time for it.
Mike would wear these holy T-shirts, and some of the women would feel sorry for him and take up collection and buy him a shirt.
I forgot that. Another thing I forgot.
He's oblivious to all that, but they were...
Well, every penny I had went into magnetic tape and banjo strings and gasoline to get down to see you all or go up to New River Ranch, take you all up there, or we'd all go up there together for the Sunday music parks to go see the Stanley Brothers or Flat and Scruggs, and those were exciting years.
Really.
That's when bluegrass was a building, It was an amazing time, and very few people played other than those people. We tried some, but we were rough as a cob.
Yeah. Rougher than a cob, I was, I know.
I kept one of the tapes that I made of us at that time, when we were at our best with Bob Baker.
But I would hate to hear that, I'll tell you.
I don't think I'm going to give that one to the Library of Congress.
Oh, Lord.
What were some of the songs that you did in those days? Would you be able to remember or maybe do something that you But it used to be.
Shoot, I don't remember.
That road was rough and rocky.
Mhm.
That's one we did with Bobby Baker, I know.
Oh, we probably did things like.
What?
Was Bobby Baker a city person or country?
No, he was from Blacksburg, Virginia, but way back out in the country. I visited his home once.
He still lives down there. He's still a good musician, wonderful guitar player, good singer.
You recorded something with him on a
Yeah.
Yeah, on
mountain
folklore.
music
That's the guy.
band,
Yeah.
mountain,
Yeah.
bluegrass banjo in the mountains or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember those Bobby Baker cuts. They were beautiful.
Mm-hmm. He learned songs from his dad, who's from Kentucky. His dad and mom used to sing together, I gathered. I never heard him sing.
I never did.
And he learned from them. And then he got involved with Ernest Tubb type music. And then we kind of pushed him over in towards the bluegrass area. But a lot of people went towards bluegrass in the mid-50s when they realized that country western was becoming country rock, and they wanted to still be country. They went back towards bluegrass, a lot of them, and I think Bob kind of did that. I think he liked straight country better myself. He was acoustic. He wasn't ever electric. He didn't ever go into electric music at all.
You were on that record with him playing the mandolin, I think, with Hazel was.
I sang on Cindy, but I don't know if my name got on the album. But I that was my first time ever being on an album. Was on that cut. And
What year was that?
Was that on the banjo record?
I think so.
56. Off 56.
Oh.
There were some other great musicians on that record. Did you all play together with them? Sometimes.
No, I just took a tape recorder out and visited people that were my favorite musicians, ones that I'd heard about. It wasn't our circle, really.
You talked kind of like about Ernest Tubb and Flatten Scruggs, or Scruggs, like you were playing somebody else's music. Were you playing traditional music, or playing somebody else's music in your own style? Or that's kind of, I'm not familiar with the old album.
I guess at that point in time, we were like everybody else. You know, we were copying what everybody else was doing. But at the same time, we had our own way of doing some songs too. You know, that we just sort of, learned either from people around us. You know, because in the beginning, I couldn't afford to buy records, and had not heard of Flatten Scruggs or any of those people until, much later on. And although they'd been playing for a long time.
You heard them on the radio.
Yeah. But during the first period of my starting to do that, I really was not too familiar. I think I became more familiar after we met Bobby and Bobby Shanklin and some of those people. And Arnold, when Arnold came up with his banjo, then I became more, because one of my brothers was a Flatten Scruggs freak, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
But until we started, getting together like that with some of these people that were singing a lot of their songs, is when I began to be real aware of them.
Your brother Guy was what I would call a real traditional musician in many ways.
You've said that a lot, and I'd never thought of him like that, because he liked to go to the racetrack so well. And I always thought of him as that was his best vocation. I guess
he picked things that I never heard on record.
Yeah.
He did one off-color version of the Titanic that I'd never heard.
Really off-color.
Yeah, and some black songs that I don't think came off of records.
I don't know where yet. Well, I'll tell you. I said in the workshop today that none of my people played professionally, but when he was in service, they found out that he could play because they formed a little band in camp there, and they did play some for the USO. And actually, he and Robert played a few times on the radio in Baltimore, which I had forgotten about.
Robert was a good musician.
Yeah.
He was a good musician too. They're all good musicians. Just made music in different ways. All four of you
Yeah.
really did.
Very different. Yeah.
You plan to sing tonight?
I guess we were encouraged to. What
Yeah.
I just want, your sister, you had sisters too, and none of them were into music.
They could sing. In fact, I had a couple of sisters that sang pretty well. Sally used to could sing really well.
She's a good singer.
We had a nice duet. And then another older sister of mine, she and I used to sing when I was much younger, like before I ever thought about leaving home to go to. And some people thought we sounded a lot like the Carter family. They would pass the road and hear us singing, and but I, that was probably just that. And we loved duet singing.
How many were there altogether?
There was 11 kids, and Robert and I used to be the ones that had the great duet years and years and years ago. That's before either one of us ever left. But we had a really knockout duet that we both, our voices were very high. My voice was extremely high then, very high pitched.
What songs did you sing, Hazel?
Jack and May, Midnight on the Stormy Deep, stuff like that. Yeah. Very.
Could we hear what?
Mike, Tracy, so come and help.
Just sit there and I'll hand you your guitar.
Let me just get a drink of water and I'll be back.
Where is your guitar? Somewhere up there,
Yeah,
Mike?
it's already. No, I get together sometime with my brother Arnold, and but he doesn't keep up with it, and it's like pulling teeth sometime to get him interested. But every chance I get, when I'm Christmas before last, I went down there to visit him, and we got together and did a few duets, but generally not.
So you're the one who sings the most actively.
Yes. Yes, so that neither of them actually was ever very active in it. They would if you encouraged them. I don't know. Let me just pick out something. You get him up here.
No, they're locked up.
Here, what that time decided that they would write him. They knew he'd be really lonely, and he went over to Germany, wasn't it? Somewhere. So finally, it got down to they got too busy to write, so I had to be the one to do the writing. So I'd write him and bring him up on all the news and what picking parties was going on, and
What I was missing.
yeah. So that was how we began, and then
Let's see if we can still do this in A. When I play mandolin, I learned a whole lot from Arnold. I really did. I hope he wouldn't be insulted to hear that.
oh Lord, no.
But
No, he'd be flattered.
I feel like I did. But I love to hear him play. I've heard him play for 15 years now.
I wish he would.
Excuse me for another 5 minutes here.
Music just like we used to back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
They in the area where I live in Rockbridge County,
Really?
Virginia, around Lexington. There's people who still just get together and make back porch kind of bluegrass.
No, that's nice. I like
It's
that.
in fact I played with some fellows who came to help paint my house, and it seemed like everybody who comes to work, no matter what, they play music down there. Play bluegrass too, almost always, except one rock and roll musician who played great old-time backup guitar too.
That that was the thing about that. One of the exciting things about that period was that if you got a job in a bar, I still try to call them clubs. It sort of raises it in the eyes of some people. It was really a nice place, but it wasn't. But most of the musicians had to play everything. They couldn't play just bluegrass or just country western. I can remember Jack Cook having to sing "That's All Right, Mama" and all that kind of stuff, and I would sing, Wanda Jackson, Kitty Wells, Patsy Cline, anything that was on the jukebox, you had to sing it, and so there were all-around musicians. I mean, they could do rock if they had to. They could do bluegrass or old time.
Yeah, Earl Taylor did Purple People Eater.
Or that's right.
Great bluegrass band.
Shall we try this?
Okay.
It's called the TB Blues.
A boy and girl once loved each other more than this world will ever know. But the girl, she took that old presumption and broke that boy's heart, you know. It broke that boy's heart, you know. They carried him up to the mountains to try to gain her help, you see. But listen, all of you good people, you never can whip up TV. You never can whip up TV. He'd often go up to the mountain and sit upon his sweetheart's bed. But the saddest thing about his story, now the boy is dead. Now the boy is dead. They buried them both in the mountains. They sleep together now at rest. But listen, all of you good people, God up yonder knows the best. God up yonder knows the best.
Maybe we should do one with
Why don't you do something on your own?
oh God.
Just back
Let's see.
Can you do Calloused Hands?
I wrote this from one of my oldest sisters, and she came up to Baltimore to visit my mother one time, and took me up in one of the bedrooms and started talking to me about how rough her life was, and her husband had been a coal miner all his life, and he had black lung and was getting disabilities, but evidently those kind of diseases not only take their toll on your physically, but emotionally and every other way, and it really has dramatic effect on relationships. And theirs really started, I think, to disintegrate after that he was got more. The more disabled he got, she was one of the people that he came down hardest on, and some of the things that he said to her was abominable, and I was trying to tell her that she didn't have to take it, that, you know, if she wanted to, I would always help her out, that she always had a place to go to, and you know, she'd just shake her head and look at the floor, and some of the things are just too hard to even talk about. And so I thought one thing I could do for her was write a song for her. So I did. If you don't think she's had it hard, my friend, just take a look at where this woman's been. Take a look at her old worn out, calloused hands. Take a look at loneliness that never ends. Oh, calloused hands don't bring you much cheer. Oh, when they're all you've got to show for bygone years, those years. A few kind words, a love song to draw near. But her hard times didn't leave such souvenirs. Well, she's worked hard and slaved her life away for her husband and for her family. Now she's shoved aside like some old worn out shoe. That's her reward for all that she's been through. Oh, her tears you'll never see 'neath all that pride, and the things she long hoped for, she put aside. I look at her and Lord, I wanna cry. To think how many times that woman died. Oh, calloused hands don't bring you much cheer. Oh, when you're left behind, like all the forgotten years, just a few kind words, a love song to draw near. But her hard times didn't leave such souvenirs. thing about it is it just really needs harmony, and unless one.
I don't think I could.
Yeah. Well, let's just do a trio that the three of us know, maybe. Include Tracy on something. Can you think of something that we used to do as a trio?
Not right now.
We could make one.
We could make up one.
We could try a little bit. Do you know the Today's Been a Lonesome Day?
Wow. I never was involved in that one.
That's right. It's the other
Except
three.
for
I don't know. Where would you do it?
Oh.
let's see. A or B?
Anybody have capo?
All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are o'er. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. I wish to the Lord I'd never been born or died when I was young, and never had seen your sparkling blue eyes or heard your lying tongue. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are o'er. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Come back, my own true love, and stay a while with me. If ever had a friend in this whole round world, you've been that friend to me. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are o'er. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Oh, don't you see that lonesome dove as it flies from pine to pine? His mourning for his own true love, just like I mourn for mine. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are o'er. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Little darling, don't you weep no more.
That was a fun one.
I would like to hear you sing that, Been a Friend.
Been a friend? Oh, did you do the guitar on that? Give Been a friend?
Oh gosh.
Okay, start
Okay.
again. Great. Well,
Said at the time that
that I had just written?
that well.
Oh, really? Huh. Well, all right. We'll say 74 or 75. We'll be safe. To tell you the truth, one verse of it had been in my notebook for a long time. And I didn't know if I could do anything with it because I tried to write a song many, many years ago. I mean, probably back as to the Baltimore days, and still have those verses. And it was about West Virginia, and I was trying as back as far as then to do one, but I never liked it. And I had that one verse, and it might have been something similar to the chorus, but the whole thing was rewritten. And Alice saw it in my book, and we were getting ready to do another album, and said, you should try to do something with that. It sounds like it could be a good song. And with that little bit of encouragement, I started thinking about it more seriously. And actually, the whole thing, except maybe the two first lines of the chorus, got rewritten. All right, don't y'all let me down. We start out with the chorus. West Virginia, oh my home. West Virginia's where I belong. In the dead of the night, in the still and the quiet, I slip away like a bird in flight back to those hills, the place that I call home. It's been years now since I left you, and this city laughs about God, the best of me. I can't remember why I'm a little bit afraid to get into the triple stuff because I don't practice it. That's something you have to think about, you know, before you get into. Well, I think about it. I probably couldn't do it either. What?
I asked him if he thought he could stand listening to me do that, and he said it's good when we got a big place.
Well, you can, Trace can yodel. Do you don't? Do you yodel?
I don't remember
You don't.
ever yodeling. No.
Yodeling, yodeling,
You
yodeling. Octave lower. Well, we ought to do one where we have a trio yodel, but we don't. There ain't none in our repertoire. You're going to sing lead, so you better get in the middle. Shorts and long.
I got the Bill Clifton version.
Yeah, boy, that Bill Clifton song.
It's right behind you in that bag.
But his version would
It's
lead
different.
me astray.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
would lead me astray. Well, that's
So long.
we'll get it
Now,
somehow.
do we sing on all of it or just?
We do the yodel.
Yeah.
You might be able to
Duet?
sing it higher than
The
that.
duet, and you can come in on the chorus. Is that what you do? I don't know.
We could do it up in F or F sharp with you leading.
Yeah, I can
You have to
handle
sing
that.
tenor to that, though, Hazel.
Huh?
You
I
have to
would.
sing tenor to that.
Well, why don't we fix up an arrangement right now?
Yeah.
Just sing what you sang, and we'll sing underneath that.
Okay. Where would you lead it if you let it? Where would you lead it? Would you lead it?
I could sing. Well, I don't know. E, G,
What you pick?
G.
Trying to figure out.
Well, I hope the tape is on. People are wasting tape like crazy on this note.